In 1932, Australia lost a war, not to Japan, not to Germany, to these guys. So after World War I, the Australian government gave a bunch of veterans some farmland in Western Australia and said, go grow wheat. And they did. Problem was, 20,000 emus also wanted that wheat. These 6-foot-tall birds migrated in every harvest season and treated the farms like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They trampled fences, destroyed crops, and left behind a wasteland of emu droppings. The farmers were ex-soldiers. They had fought in an actual world war, and they were losing to poultry. The farmers went to the government and said, we need help, and the government, in its infinite wisdom, said, send in the military, not pest control, not a fence company. The Royal Australian Artillery, Major GPW. Meredith was deployed with 2 soldiers, 2 Lewis guns, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. 3 men versus 20,000 birds. Military command estimated this would take approximately 1 week. The first engagement was on November 2nd. A group of about 50 emus was spotted. The soldiers set up their guns. They opened fire. The emus scattered in every direction, running at 30 miles per hour. When the dust settled, the soldiers had used hundreds of rounds and killed approximately 0 emus. Not 12, 0. They tried again with a larger group. This time, they got closer. They fired over 1,000 rounds. They killed 12 emus. 12 out of 1,000 rounds. That is a worse hit ratio than a stormtrooper. So they had a brilliant idea. Mount the machine gun on a truck. Chase the emus. Shoot them while driving. What could go wrong? Everything. The truck bounced so violently on the rough terrain that the gunner could not aim at anything. The emus simply outran the truck. At one point, the truck hit a bump. The gun flew off, and the soldiers had to chase their own weapon across the field while the emus watched. And then the emus started fighting back, not with violence, with strategy. They figured out guerrilla tactics. They posted sentries, actual lookout emus on hilltops. When the soldiers approached, the sentry would signal the others, and the flock would split into small squads and scatter in different directions. These birds had independently invented squad-based military doctrine. A bird with a brain the size of a walnut was outmaneuvering the Australian military. After 6 days, the military withdrew, a formal retreat, from birds. The official report noted that the emus had sustained, quote, gruesome wounds, but continued to run, absorbing bullets like, and I am not making this up, quote, feathery Zulu warriors. The media had a field day. One ornithologist said the emus had shown better tactics than the soldiers. Major Meredith compared the emus to, quote, machine gun-proof tanks. The Australian Parliament actually debated what happened. In Parliament, on the official record, one member demanded to know how the military lost to birds. The Minister of Defense was personally blamed and earned the nickname, quote, the enemy of the emu people. Another politician suggested giving the emus military medals for their bravery in combat. The farmers requested another military operation. The government sent the soldiers back. They lost again. Australia eventually solved the emu problem, the boring way. They put up fences and started a bounty system, which actually worked. Because apparently, a bunch of random farmers with rifles were more effective than the literal military. The Great Emu War remains the only known conflict where a national army was formally defeated by birds. The emus remain undefeated.